What do 401ks look like for those in their 50s and 60s and even beyond?
Yeah, so when we think about average 401k balance, again, Fidelity did a wonderful study in 2024 looking at the average 401k balance of folks by age. And we know that the average 50-year-old has a 401k balance right now of about $176,000. The average 55-year-old's 401k balance is about $222,000. 60-year-old, it's about $246,000. And then for the average 65-year-old in this country right now, their 401k balance alone is about $250,000. Now, again, we said our ultimate goal is we're working towards having 20 times our annual income for financial independence. When we check our mile markers, if we're going to stay on this path, we know that we needed 6.4 times our income by 50. That would mean we need 13.7 times our income by 60 and then 20 times by 65. Well, if we know, Brian, that the median income for someone in their 50s is about $110,000 a year, the average American, at least by this metric, is falling drastically short.
Yeah, and that's why, look at if we pull up the chart of actually what the spread is between what the averages are versus what we're projecting you should need. Get motivated. Don't be part of the statistics of the average American. You want to be beyond average. And we showed how earlier on for 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, just do something. A little goes a long way. Still in your 40s, you have opportunities to catch up. And then the government has written into tax laws in your 50s, you get some incentives. So there's all kind of opportunities. Do something today. Don't let these numbers discourage you. Let it be motivation.
If you're a median income earner, just for those of you out in podcast world, if you want to hit your number by 50, your total portfolio should be about $650,000. By 55, you should be into seven-figure land, a little over $1,040,000. By age 60, about $1.5 million. And then by age 65, if you were a median income earner in this country, you should have 20 times your annual income, about $2.2 million saved up. So as you transition into this 50s and into 50s and beyond, what are the things that you ought to be thinking about, ought to be focusing on? Well, you just said it, Brian. This is the stage where retirement or financial independence is right around the corner. So you really ought to be focusing on landing the plane. What tweaks should I be making that would help me out?
Yeah, well, that's what the government, as I already alluded to it, catch-up contributions. You hit 50. It's probably the only good thing that you feel better about yourself that you're now in your 50s is you get catch-up on your IRAs, you get catch-ups on your 401ks. Don't sleep on these unique opportunities because we've already heard $23,500 is what the government says the max you can put into your 401k unless you're 50 or greater, and now you can do $31,000. If you're now they even have this crazy super catch up between 60 and 63, you can even contribute up to $34,750. That can actually make a big difference over the long term. So take advantage of those unique windows of time that the government is giving you, a little bit extra that you can put into these plans.
And as you think about exiting the workforce or making this next decision on this next phase, are you familiar with the rule of 55? If I'm thinking about leaving in my 50s, should I potentially consider making sure that I do not retire or do not leave work before the year in which I turn 55? Because if I do it in the year that I turn 55 or later, I can actually access those 401k assets before age 59 and a half.
And then this is also a time where, your allocation matters. This is where we're going to pay attention to tax location. We're going to pay attention to asset location so you can actually have access to what cash when. So this is very important to understand. And plus, I don't want you to be a cowboy forever. Right. There's a point where you need to dial down risk just because you don't have the time to recover if you go too far out on the risk spectrum.
And we want you, especially in this phase, we want you to measure twice, cut once, because it's not clear how many retirements you're going to have. You hope you only have to do it once, but you only get one shot at that. And it's really hard to get the water back up the hill once it's gone down the hill. So have you done the things necessary to make sure you're ready for this stage and ready for this transition? A great tool that you can use if you've not done this is have you gone to learn.moneyguy.com and done our Know Your Number course? Do you understand, okay, to live the life I want to live and the terms I want to live it at, the numbers I want to live it at, have I hit my number? Have I reached the level where I can actually step away from the workforce and be okay? If you've not done this work yet, you might not be at the place where you can actually sign that retirement notice.
Well, I think the Know Your Number course is perfect for really people 20 to 50 years of age, because it lets you know if you're ahead of the curve, behind the curve, or right where you need to be. I will say, as you actually are approaching retirement, I want you to consider even taking it to the next level. And that's where there's a reason if you go to moneyguy.com/become a client, you'll see that we actually have a work with us section. You can, watch a video on what value we think we offer clients. And this is the part where, humbly, I talk about the abundance cycle. We give you tons of free advice, because I know in the beginning, your decision should just be simple, is that just do something, make the money work as hard as you do, and you'll be rewarded in the long term. However, as you get more successful, the side effect of success is complications.
That's right.
And you've only had one retirement, and you don't want to screw it up, because you're now more than likely the CEO of a 7-figure enterprise that you don't want to lose 20, 30% just because you had the wrong allocation. You don't want to pay extra taxes just because you didn't know that you could restructure it this way. All those blind spots are complications that we think are the perfect steps for why you probably want to take a relationship to the next level, so that you can find somebody who's done hundreds, if not thousands, of retirements for their clients, so you're getting the best version of your retirement and maximizing your financial life. That's why go to moneyguy.com if you're in the beginning and go to our resources section, all the free stuff. But don't be scared to go to that work with us section, because it is one of those things where you either need to own your financial life, or if you just let it happen to you, it will own you. And that's why we want you to command your army of dollar bills. I'm your host, Brian Preston, Mr. Bo Hansen. Money Guy team